She moved through the GP tent quietly, pushing a mop bucket no one paid attention to, until a young Marine cracked a joke about her rank. The moment she lifted her eyes, every Special Operations commander nearby froze, and then snapped to a full salute. From which part of the country are you watching this from? Leave a comment. The morning heat clung to the canvas walls of the GP tent as Marines moved in and out, grabbing gear and prepping for another long day of training exercises. Amid the noise, clanking metal, radio chatter, boots pounding dirt, a woman in a faded janitorial uniform quietly pushed a mop bucket across the floor. Her hair was tucked under an old cap, her sleeves rolled up, revealing calloused hands that spoke of years of hard work. Most Marines walked past her without a second glance. To them, she was just the civilian janitor assigned to keep the tent clean. But one Marine, Lance Corporal Tyler Briggs, was in a teasing mood. Briggs nudged his buddy as the woman passed. "Hey, ma'am," he said with a grin. "What's your rank? You outrank this mop." A few Marines chuckled. The woman paused, tightened her grip on the mop handle, and looked up slowly. Her eyes met his, not irritated, not offended, but steady calm and strangely commanding. For a moment, Briggs felt his smile falter under that gaze. But before he could say anything else, a voice boomed from behind him. 10 HUT. Every Marine in the tent instantly straightened. Briggs spun around, confused, expecting to see an officer behind him. But instead, the commanding voice belonged to Master Gunnery Sergeant Hale, a hardened veteran who didn't salute easily. Hale's jaw clenched, his eyes focused not on Briggs, but on the janitor. The woman sighed softly, set the mop aside, and reached to her collar. She peeled back the fabric of her shirt, revealing a thin chain. At the end of it hung a small metal tag. The Marines nearest to her leaned in, and Briggs felt his breath stick in his throat the moment he recognized the emblem. The insignia of a retired colonel. A Marine colonel. And not just any. One of the highest decorated officers in recent history, rumored to have led covert operations with Joint Special Operations Command. Colonel Elena Ryder. Hale snapped a salute, so sharp the air seemed to crack. The entire tent followed, dozens of arms rising in perfect synchronization. Briggs, face draining of color, saluted last, his hand shaking. Colonel Ryder gave Hale a respectful nod. "At ease," she said quietly, and her voice carried the weight of someone long accustomed to command. The Marines relaxed, but the tension didn't dissipate. Briggs swallowed hard, standing at stiff attention even after being released. Ryder turned to him, a faint smile tugging at her lips. "Lance Corporal," she said, "you asked my rank?" The young Marine opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Her amusement deepened, gentle, not mocking. "Don't worry, I'm not here on duty." She glanced at her mop, just helping an old friend. But the surprises weren't over. Master Gunnery Sergeant Hale stepped forward. "Ma'am," he said, voice low, "with all due respect, why would someone like you be doing this?" He gestured toward the mop bucket. Ryder's expression shifted, old grief flickering through her eyes. "Because the man who usually does this job is in the hospital," she said quietly. "Corporal Jensen. He caught a piece of shrapnel during last week's training accident." The tent fell eerily silent. Everyone remembered the explosion, the chaos, the evacuation, the fear of losing one of their own. "Jensen's wife is back home alone with their newborn," Ryder continued. "So, while he's recovering, I promised him I'd take his place for a few days." He thought it was a joke. She chuckled softly. "I didn't." Briggs stared at her, guilt burning through him. "Ma'am, I didn't know." "Of course you didn't," she said gently. "But now you do." She reached into her pocket and pulled out a folded slip of paper. "This is Jensen's room number at the medical center. He could use visitors." Her eyes locked onto his. "Go today." "Yes, ma'am," Briggs said, chest tightening with shame. And something else, respect. But as the tent settled, another twist rolled in like thunder. The canvas flap flew open and a group of Marines rushed in, breathless. "Master Gunnery Sergeant, we have incoming VIPs, JSOC Command, and 2 foreign officers. They're asking for Colonel Ryder." Briggs whipped his head toward her, stunned. Ryder chuckled. I told them I wanted to stay low profile. She removed her cap, straightened her hair, and took a deep breath. Well, break time's over. Hale's eyes widened. Ma'am, this tent is a mess. We can move you to the command post. No need, she said. If they want me, they can come exactly where I am. The Marines scrambled into formation as heavy boots approached outside. Briggs watched Ryder step forward, calm and composed, as shadows loomed against the tent. In that moment, janitor's uniform or not, she didn't look like someone scrubbing floors. She looked like the warrior whose legacy still echoed across bases around the world. And when the VIPs entered, they saluted her first. Briggs would never joke about rank again. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more dramatic military stories.